Tony D and Little Joan with 4 different trailers: The Communion Girl, The Price of Perfection, Rebirth, and The King of Killers. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 12, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So a bunch of movies come out and I can never get to them, and I decide to stack them all up in one big trailer reaction show. Unfortunately, with the strike, I may have to stop doing these because I'm going to run out of trailers. But so Communion Girl is a horror movie, pretty straightforward, but I like it because it seems to be based on like an urban legend. It feels very much like The Woman in White, the Acco Ghost, some of the other ones here in South Jersey. The ghost of a girl in a communion dress roams, and if she finds you, she does horrible things to you. She's alone, she's cold, and the characters, this is on Shudder, by the way, they have to figure out why, usually with ghosts, you have to figure out what their deal is and, do the thing. See, she appears around this time. Let's see. They say May 1987. Ooh, that's a specific year. While returning from a nightclub and having taken drugs, a new girl in town, Sarah, and her friend, Rebe, find a doll wearing a communion dress. From that moment, their lives will become a living hell. So it sounds cool. It takes place in the 80s. It's got all this sort of local, I don't know if it's local, but it feels very much like a folktale or ghost story, and I'm very well steeped in them. So for them to get those details right, rock on. So I would say first act, establishing the characters in 1987, walking around doing their thing. They find the doll. They think they see the girl. We saw a little lost girl yesterday on a path outside of town. They find the communion thing, and then the ghost starts to bother them. Then throughout the second act, it's slowly ramping up. It's probably killing a bunch of people. It's got like a young cast. I think it's Italian. And then third act, they figure out how to undo whatever horrible thing happened to her. So it sounds solid enough, and it's a foreign film, so it's probably better than most because foreign films typically don't get to the States unless they're pretty good. The Price of Perfection is a Mar Vista film, and they typically do what I call a lot of hotel films. But this one looks pretty good, I gotta say. So there's a brother and sister, and one is taking like ADHD medicine, and the sister's stressing out, so the brother loans her the pills, and she is taking them. Another girl sees her taking them and wants to get a hold of some of the drugs, so she pretends to befriend her. She's not really interested in her, but she wants her hookup. The brother's mad. She starts sharing his drugs. She shouldn't be doing that. They lure her into a party to basically get her drugs. And she comes and she's like, my life's all messed up. My dad passed away. I'm not dealing with it. So she has a crazy time with these other teenagers who sort of accept her. But she drinks too much alcohol and takes too much drugs. And they think she's dead. And the blonde girl, who's sort of the ringleader, says, we can't let people know she died here. And it gets on the news very quickly for some reason. And then they hide the body. Well, the girl's not dead, I don't think. At least the trailer makes it look like that. She's not dead, but then the I guess the other teens are so caught up in their lies, they conclude that they have to kill her in order to make sure their lies are true or they don't get into trouble for something. So then they tie her up and they're gonna, I don't know, weigh her down and throw her off a boardwalk or something. And the brother and the mother have to save her. That's not bad for Mar Vista. I pretty much did the first 3 acts right there. So first act, she's dealing with the death of her dad. She gets drugs from her brother. And a hot blonde chick at the school befriends her for the drugs. Next, she gets manipulated to getting in deeper. Her and the brother kind of drift apart because of the drug thing. She goes to this party with the drugs, but they're just using her. But she doesn't really care. She's kind of having a good time. But then they think she ODs, but she doesn't. She's not dead, I don't think. But they think she's dead. They got her body hidden. She doesn't come home the night after, so they're looking for her. The cops are involved. Eventually she wakes up and they decide, well, we got to finish her off so we don't get arrested for kidnapping, I guess. So they decide to do that. Big step, by the way. But I could see it happening. I mean, it could happen. And so they go to kill her, and then the chase. The third act is the big chase at the end where they knocked her out and they're going to tie weights to her and drop her in the river or something. Man, this blonde chick is out of her mind. I think she's going to prison at the end of this movie. But there's a solid cast here. I gotta say, there's a solid cast. Mar Vista is usually kind of a bleh movie company. Most of the trailers I see for them, I go, ugh, that looks boring. I wouldn't even watch that in the hotel I was trapped in. But this looks pretty good. I gotta say, it's pretty good. It moves well. It's paced well. The cast is appealing. They appear to be playing things at the top of their intelligence. I'm kind of digging it. All right, so The Price of Perfection. This is going to be a tough choice. Next up is Rebirth. So, I think this is another Shudder. A young girl dies, and the mother, I think she's trying to pick up the body. And a woman at the morgue steals the body. And the mother somehow figures that out. This is all in the first act. The second act, she breaks into the morgue worker's apartment because she suspects something and finds her daughter hooked up to a machine in her apartment. So she's doing some sort of Frankenstein experiment on the dead girl and bringing her back to life. She succeeded on a pig, and now she's trying it on a girl. So the mother decides, I'm in, to bring the daughter back to life. And I guess it happens? But who knows? This could be, I don't know if this is going supernatural or science. It may be a little of both. The female morgue worker is crazy, and the mother is crazy, and then the third act, could the little girl survive? It kind of looks like maybe. But I don't know. I would say probably not. Directed by Laura Moss, written by Laura Moss and Brendan O'Brien. Brendan J. O'Brien. Doesn't look bad. This looks pretty good too, I gotta say. No write-up. But solid enough premise. A modern day myth about motherhood and morality. Kinda. It reminds me a little bit of that. They did a Frankenstein, like another Frankenstein reboot where it was like a girl and her monster, a black girl and her monster, I think they called it, or something like that. Only that one didn't look good. It looked a little too ham-fisted. This looks more nuanced and subtle. Like the morgue worker only stole the little girl because she thought maybe she was, abandoned, and the mother looks overwrought and distressed, like maybe she could have not gotten there in time to, say, hey, I need that body for the funeral. And maybe that's why the morgue worker picked the little girl specifically, or there may be some other reason. But yeah, this could be good. This could be good. It doesn't look bad. It looks fairly watchable. And finally, King of Killers, starring Frank Grillo. This is a little more straightforward. Basically, Frank Grillo is a crazy assassin guy. That's his mask. He likes that mask, I guess. And he invites a bunch of killers to his estate. And the deal is they'll win a bunch of money if they kill him. And one by one, Frank Grillo kills them all. It just feels like an excuse for everybody to fight and kill each other. So I don't know. It's kind of a stupid premise. Steven Dorff is in it. I don't think he's one of the assassins. I think he's the guy who sets it up. Like, I think he's the guy, like, recruiting people, and then whoever the... I can't even tell you who the main character is. It isn't Grillo. He's the villain. It's definitely not Dorff. He's sort of like an also-ran in this. It's one of the other guys, and they don't make it very clear. So it's not a great trailer. I would watch this. Yours to own September 5th. I wouldn't own it. Available on DVD September 25th. Who the hell's buying DVDs anymore? Feels like a movie you'd buy in a car wash for $2. But that's okay. Sometimes those movies are all right. I mean, it looks like it's got action in it. I don't mean to knock it so bad, but it does. The plot looks dumb. The plot looks dumb. They needed a better plot than this. Like, I just decide I'm the king of killers, and I'm going to invite murderers and then murder them one by one to show who exactly? I don't know. Needed another element here to make this make sense, but I'd watch this too. So, man, that's 4 movies I would watch. Ooh, to rank these, this is a real tough one. So we got King of Killers, Birth, Rebirth, The Price of Perfection, and The Communion Girl. Well, Communion Girl is not in English, so I guess I wouldn't put that at 1. And it is a bit by the numbers. The Price of Perfection looks really good in terms of the plot. I'm not a gigantic fan of sort of a high school thing. Birth, Rebirth looks good too, but that could easily get very pretentious. King of Killers is not pretentious at all, but it's a little too on the nose. I guess I gotta go with... I gotta go with the Communion movie, The Communion Girl. Only because it's got the folktale tie-in. So that I like. Number 2 would have to be The Price of Perfection. Yeah. That looks pretty good. It's a real... These are very close together for me. This is a very close second. But this looks really good. I can't find any flaws in it other than it's made by Mar Vista, and I bet it's in hotels everywhere. Number 3, I would have to go King of Killers. Yeah, because this is a nice, comfortable... This is my cozy movie. Oh, Frank Grillo's going to kill a bunch of people. Awesome. Let's see. It says, Garan is part of a group of international hitmen who are contracted to take out the most dangerous killer in the world, only to find out that they're the ones being hunted. Yeah, it's all very, very derivative, but there'll be lots of action, so I won't be bored. And I have to, and again, a close third, I would say Birth and Rebirth, only because this could easily get bogged down in a bunch of pretentious nonsense that I wouldn't want in the movie. But it does look good. So all 4 of these movies I would see. I think they're probably very watchable. If you're like me, definitely the Grillo movie is totally watchable. But I think these others would be too. But it's a close call, man. So The Communion Girl, The Price of Perfection, Birth, Rebirth, and King of Killers. Hey, it's a banner day. I recommended 4 movies. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for a more base take. If you can find a more base take, I say take it. You should definitely check us out on those channels because God knows how long I'll be here on YouTube. I still have a community strike and a copyright strike, so Lord knows I could get 2 more like that and I'll be done. So definitely subscribe to me on Rumble, Odysee, and Bitchute. I will be at the LBI Book Swap on Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. I'll have book 12 of the Pineys. I'll have some other books, too, that I haven't had in a while, including F.U. I'm Italian, Why We Italians Are So Awesome. I've been out of stock on this for a while, but I just got a bunch of them. So I'm very excited. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.